Okay, let's go over our registration and login again. So whenever user wants to register, he will send HTTP post request to our registration URL. So they will send HTTP post request to localhost 8080/registration. And they will send their data along the way. So because they need, whenever you register, you write your full name, I don't know, username, password, stuff. And then we get this data using request.json. We call it user data and we convert it to Python dictionary because this request.json is not a dictionary. And then we insert all this data, full name, username, password, inside our table, like insert into users, full name, username, password, and values will be like full name from this user data, username from this user data, and password from this user data, like whatever the user sends us. And then connection commit, it means just save all the changes inside the database. But then whatever we have inserted inside database, we fetch it from database and we send back to the user, saying that here is the user that you have created, here ID of that user, here the full name and username. We don't send back the password because usually passwords are hashed. What it means hashing, I will talk about later. Okay. So when
registration, conflict holding.
Registration. Okay. If a user wants to log in again, user sends post request to /login passname. So post request to localhost 8080/login. And user needs to send username and password. Again, we get this user data from request.json. First, we check if there is user with this username. Okay. So select ID and password from users table, where username is this one. It means user data username. It means this user. Okay. If this user exists, and fetch one, this cursor.fetch1 means that result of this query. As a result of this query, we will have a user, but we will have nobody. Okay. If this user is none, it means that there is not any user with this username. Then I will send back a message saying that this user does not exist. Please register. After that, as you saw, when I select ID and password. So I check password as well. Is this password same as the password in the database? Like this password is from this existing user came from database. I check if password from user data is different than password from database. Then I send an error message saying that password is not correct. Actually, this is, I think this is considered as bad practice for security reasons, because if you say someone that password is not correct, it means that username is correct, and it means that someone has guessed the username correctly. For this reason, people usually send back generic error saying that username or password is incorrect.
Both.
Yes. Because in this way, the attacker doesn't have a way to guess that was that username correct or not.
And there is a high possibility that they can correct the password.
Yes. So if password is correct and if username is correct, as you remember, return breaks the flow, right? Return breaks the function. If username wasn't correct, we would stop here. If password was not correct, we would stop here. If we haven't stopped here, and if we haven't stopped here, it means that username is correct, also password is correct. So we generate an access token. I use this secrets package from Python standard library. It's not third-party package. It's built into Python. And we call this token underscore URL safe 64. It means that give me a string that is 64 letters long. It gives us a random string, as you saw on the response. This is a random string, which is 64 letters long. Then we create an expiration time for this token. Date time now, it means right now, plus 1 hour. Okay. So we insert, as you remember, we need to associate this access token with our user, and we need to remember it inside database. So we insert into our table, which was called user sessions. We insert access token, user ID, and expiration time. So I insert into user sessions, access token, user ID, and expires it. Values will be in this order: access token, user ID, which will be ID from existing user, which is ID from database, user ID from database. And then expiration time, which is 1 hour after this time. Then I commit my change, meaning that I save this data inside my database. Then I return my user my access token. The reason why I return it, they need to remember it. They need to keep it safe somewhere. For example, if you are using, if your client is mobile application, this token will be stored somewhere inside your phone. If this, like if you log out, this token will be removed from your phone, but you don't really know where they store it. If this is web application, usually this token is stored inside your browser. I can recording sure. I can show you, for example, Asan login. I don't know if I have shown before, probably yes. Let's say I will open my developer tools inside my browser. I will open here application. We have a storage section here. Okay. I have storage section here. It's my storage of my browser. Okay. I'm going to log into my system. Okay. I log into, what was my password? I think this was correct. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Browser storage, we don't have anything. Inside cookies, we should have something called token. Yeah, this is token, okay? And this is the token that they have given me, and they stored inside the storage section. They have cookies, and they stored the token inside cookies. This client-side application, actually, this is web application. This is the application that stored token inside the browser. So their token is actually very long. As you see, this is a very long token. Yeah, but usually when you write your backend, you just return them the token. It's up to them to where they store this token. Okay.
I have a question. After that, you said password is incorrect or anything like that. Why did we insert access token? Are they connected?
Why did we insert? If username is correct and password is correct, then we insert. Okay. As you see, if username is not correct, it means we don't have such user. Existing user is none. We return an error. We don't create an access token. If we return an error here, it means we don't reach to this line. If password is not correct, we return an error. We don't reach to the line, this line. If username and password is both correct, then we will generate access token. We will insert this token inside database.
But shouldn't we use else or if?
we can do, but we don't need here because we have return statement. Return just stops it here. But if this condition is true, it means that existing user is none. Existing user does not exist actually. If I return here, I don't need else because this function will stop here.
If both of them are correct, this code won't return any of these commands.
Yes. When we learned functions, we said that return stops the function. Just like break stops the loop. Okay, that's why we don't need else. Actually, we can write, there is not any thing else. We can write it, but we don't need because we have return. So, one question here, do you think that it is a good idea to store username and password? I'm selecting from users table. I have one user here and I store their password as plain text inside my database. Do you think that it is a good idea to store the password like this? If no, why?
Because of the thing that we talked for 5 or 10 minutes, if the hackers or any cyber attackers see that one of them is incorrect and the other is correct, it will be easier to crack. But if we would, how to say, print this information separately, it would be more stronger and more difficult to be hacked or cracked.
It's partially correct, but there is also a possibility that, let's say, our database, like all of data in our database is leaked to the internet. And then because we store our passwords as plain text, it's not encrypted or something, it's plain text, everyone can see it. And it's bad for our users, bad for our reputation. Also, let's say I have a database admin at my company. They can just see all the users and see their passwords, but it's not polite and it's not ethical to see their passwords. Like, let's say I have database admin and database admin sees every data at company and they see everyone's password and they can log in instead of everyone inside company. That's why usually passwords are hashed. Hashing means that in like cryptography, there is a function which is called hash function. Hash function is takes anything as input. Let's say it takes a string as input and it gives you a number. And what is nice about this function is that, for example, if I give a hash function, let's say Canan, it will return me, let's say, I don't know, 55. Next time, if I give it Canan, it will again return me 55. Like the value won't change. Given the same value, output will always be the same. This is called hash function. If I change one letter, let's say Canan, I say Chonan, it will give me, I don't know, some different number, 152, let's say. Let's say hash function. So there is a nice picture of hash function here. Like you give Fox to hash function, it gives you this number. This number is in hexadecimal. If you give red fox runs across, yes. it gives you different number. You give the same sentence to this hash function, but you change runs to walks, this number will change completely. But hash functions, given the same value, output will always be the same. This is actually beauty of this mathematics behind cryptography. Given the same value, this output number will always be the same.
Here in second, so only runs and walls, these words are different.
Yes.
As we see in HashSum, the queuing of these combinations are way too different.
Yeah, yes, actually, this should be like this. If let's say they had the same like a clause or same, I don't know, output, it's actually considered bad hash function. Hash functions like should not have collisions, meaning that two stuff should not have same output. The main important stuff about hash function is that same input should always give you same output. Let's actually, one hash function, hash algorithm is called MD5. It's very dumb and insecure hash function. I can open MD5 hash generator. I can write here Canon. I will click generate. It will give me MD5 hash, which is 8080. I don't know this long string. This is actually a number, but in hexadecimal. Okay. If I give Canon again, it will give me again the same result. No matter how many times. It's the mathematics behind this MD5 algorithm. If I change just one stuff, I put it dot here, it will give me completely different result. That's why usually when people store data inside, like store some sensitive data like password inside database, they usually hash it. So before I store my password here, I will do something like this. Hashed password. Okay, I will do something like this. Instead of you storing plain password, I will do something to this password and then we'll store this hashed password. Okay. What will I do? I need to look at it. There is a library inside Python which is called the hashlib. Using this hashlib, we can use this, for example, MD5, then hex digest. Let's actually use it. I will import hashlib. Then what will I do this? I will use hashlib MD5. There are a lot of good hashing algorithms. MD5 is considered not secure. Yeah, MD5 is considered not secure hashing algorithm because people found a way to crack it somehow. But I will use MD5 here. Like there are a lot of functions like PBK, DF2, I don't know, SHA1, SHA256 and stuff. There are a lot of algorithms, okay? So I will use MD5. We will give our password. I will encode it. Encode just means convert it to binary. And then we will get hex digest. It means that convert this output number into hexadecimal string and give me the output. Okay. So this time, whenever new user registers, let's actually delete our users. I will delete everything from users. I will delete everything from user sessions. I will delete everything from users. Okay. So I register again as Orhan Senli, Orit Orhan 134. I register. I created a new user, but when I select from users, you will see that this password is something else. And another question here, whenever user logged in, I actually compared their password and the password in the database. User won't send me this hash. User will send me Orhan 134. And I have this hash inside my database. How can I compare them?
Then you command the statement as hash non-original password, or return the hash to the original one.
Actually, what we talked about hash functions, given the same input, it will always give me the same output, right? I can get this Orhan 134, hash it, and compare it to this hash. If the hashes are same, it means the input is same. So whenever we log in, when the registration is ready, we just hash the password and save it. But whenever we log in, we will, again, let's copy this line from here. I want to compare plain password to hashed password. Actually call it like, let's call it user ID and password from DB, so it's more clear. Okay, just like this. So I don't compare plain password to hash database password. I will compare a hashed password to password from database because they are both same. This way, whenever I log in, I will have the correct result. I will get this Orhan 134, hash it. If I have the same hash as here, it means the password was Orhan 134. So this is how login logout works. This is very close to like real world. This is the same stuff that we did in like every company that we were working on. But there are different strategies actually to generate this token. For example, there is a very famous way which is called JSON Web Token. It's called GWT. And this is just type of JSON, that type of token that everyone uses. I don't know why, but like it's totally fine to use such like access token strategy, just like we did. But usually, like there is another way, which is called JSON Web Token. It's also a token, but a different way of generating a token. This JSON Web Token also uses a hashing algorithm, which is called HS256. Okay. So let's actually, let's say a user wants to access, I don't know, user wants to get list of to-dos. We don't have to-dos table, but let's say, okay. Get to tasks. Let's say, I don't know, get accounts, anything, okay. App.get, let's say they want to see list of their accounts, okay, just for example. We need to authorize them, like they need to send their token to us whenever they want to get list of their accounts. Let's say I am a server and I ask my client to send their username whenever they want to get list of their accounts. Maybe it's just simplify it. Okay, let's say you are entering a building, and instead of giving you a badge, they say that next time when you come to the building, just say your name. I don't need anything else. Just say your name and enter the building. One time, Canon, you go and say your name, and security guy just allows you to go. And next time you say your name, security guy allows you to go into building. Next time someone else comes in and says Canon, and security guy allows him to go as well, because the protocol between you is just to say your name. But it's not secure. That's why we have this token. Okay, that's why they give you this badge, and this badge has some kind of chip inside it. I don't know if it allows you to go in, and this badge is also associated with your ID card in their system. So for this reason, let's say inside our application, when they want to get list of their accounts, let's say, we will ask them to send the token that we have given them. Let's say user wants to get list of accounts. They will send get request to accounts endpoint. It's okay. Accounts endpoint, and they need to send the token that we have given them. Where they need to send, they actually can send as URL parameter, but let's skip it. There is a special header which is called authorization header. You can tell them send this token using authorization header. What was the token? This was the token. So send this token inside our authorization header. Okay. And we will get this header from our function. Where is this author? Request headers. Request headers authorization. Okay, we can do it like this. So first we check if they are sending authorization header. If authorization header is not in request headers, it means they haven't sent us the authorization header. Please send us the token in authorization header. Okay, I'm restarting my server. If they don't send authorization header, I will say that please send us token in authorization header. It means that authorization is not in list of headers that they send us. If they send, let's get access token from authorization header, request headers, authorization. We need to select, like we will go to our table, which is called user sessions. We'll go to our table and we will check this if this token is inside our table, and we will check which user does this table belong to. Does this token belong to? So I will again execute a query, which is execute select what user ID from expires at from user sessions table, where access token is, let's just do it a little bit different, where the token is what access token, where the token is access token. So user ID and expires at will be what? Cursor fetch one. We just fetch a result of this select statement. Let's just, for the sake of simplicity, return them user ID and expires at. Let's just send them for the sake of simplicity. Okay, we can say if user session does not exist, we will send them an error message saying that the token does not exist in our database. So let's try again. First, if I don't send the header, please send us the header, like token in authorization. If I send the header, but I send something wrong, it means that we don't have this access token in the database. Actually, we had some error. User sessions, because the table name is not correct. Here, let's try again.
For a second.
Yes. If I send them wrong token, they will say me that the token does not exist in our database. Because I looked at my user sessions table, this access token does not exist there. So user session is none. It's null. It doesn't exist. If the token is correct, let's actually copy the actual token. This token is correct. We say that, yeah, user ID is this and expiration time is this, Tuesday, August 8th, 2023 at this time. Okay. So we can also actually send them the user name as well. Select user from users table where user ID goes to this. So using this way, we know to which user this token belongs to. We also know when this token expires. Just let's summarize again. First, we checked if authorization header exists. If this doesn't exist, we say that please send us the token in authorization header. Then we select from our user sessions table where we have this access token or not. If we don't have that access token in our database, we return that this token does not exist in our database. I don't know, please log in. Please log in. Then if this does exist, this token is valid, then we return that this token belongs to this user and expires at this time. Ideally, we should send them list of their accounts, but we don't have accounts table here. But yeah. Is the idea clear? After that, actually, we can also compare expiration time to current time. But I'm not sure, but let's try for 1 minute and then we can finalize the lecture. Let's say current time is date time.now. Okay. Expires at will be what? I don't know. If I have compared this date time to somewhere, let's see where did we do it. Parser, parse. What's parser? Date util parser. Okay, let's do it. Okay, parser, parse. . Use parser, parse this time, current time. If current time is greater than expires at, it means that we have passed that time. We can return an error saying that, what was that? Sorry. And this token has been expired. Please go. Okay. Let's not finish the sentence. Okay. Let's actually try to check this as well. In the database, I will go to my database and I will update this expires at to some past time. Let's update it to this time. Save the results. I don't know, save data changes. Okay. So this expired already. Let's try it.
Just because it's 1 hour time is up.
Yes. I have some error here. Parser must be a string as character stream, not date time. Okay, I think I didn't need to parse this. Sorry. Let's just not do this. These are just small details. Let's try again. This token has been expired. Please go. If I update this some future time, I don't know, 22, save changes. So we don't have any error. If I change token even a little bit, this token does not exist in our database. If I don't send the data at all, please send us token in authorization header. And this token stuff is very common everywhere. Let's say I want to use Unsplash API, unsplash.com, Unsplash API. I want to use some pictures from their database, let's say. For example, if let's see their authorization section in their documentation, okay? Public authentication. They say that if you want to authorize yourself, send us authorization header, client ID, and your access key. Where I need to get this access key? Actually, I need to go like your apps. Then I have this, I don't know, InstaClone app, maybe. I have this disabled, no, this disabled example status. Like they give me this access key here. Like they don't require me to log in, but they just give me this key. It's called API key. And I can use this key. I can use the secret key to upload some images. And I can use this access key to access some images. A secret key is usually like it's not supposed to be shared with someone else because they can upload, they can change data, but this is for only just reading the data. You can copy it from the video if you want, but I don't think I have something important. Okay. So that's all about backend that we were going to talk about. If you are willing to be backend developer in the future, this is just kind of stuff that you will be doing. And from the next lecture, we will be doing front-end web stuff. So you can decide what you want to be.
I saw there comment like time delta.
Time delta.
I see for time data.
Time delta, yes. I don't know the specifics, but this is a utility function from Python datetime library. this just helps me to add 1 hour to this date time. Otherwise, like it's hard to do it. Like you get the date, you convert 1 hour to seconds, then you add to this one, then you convert back to the date time. This is hard, but this time delta is easier way to do it. Yeah. If you don't have any questions, let's finish it. Next lecture, we will learn HTML. It's very easy. You will rest.